Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. If you don't know me, I'm the Mark of the Masters, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA today, TNA 3/27/2014. Now, really quickly, guys, I told you guys yesterday on Twitter that from now on, due to a personal scheduling conflict, I will not be able to do TNA recaps on the night. Now, what I will do is early Friday mornings or just before lunchtime, Eastern Standard U.S. time, I will be posting TNA reviews and recaps at OneWrestling.com and YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo, and also, of course, my Twitter feed, my Facebook. You guys can find me. I will post it there, and especially go to Wrestling News Talk. Again, Wrestling News Talk, the wrestling fan page on Facebook, and you will find my videos there. Now, don't forget, Saturday night, that would be tomorrow, 8 p.m., the Can-Am Wrestling Show brings back Ohio Valley Wrestling's longest reigning champion, world champion, Jamin Olivencia. And Jamin Olivencia's challenge, the hashtag Jamin Challenge, has been accepted by the phenomenal AJ Styles. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow with our special guest, Jamin Olivencia. And of course, don't forget to join my tag team brother from the north, Mr. Corbeil, on his page too. Guys, follow him on Twitter at Andre_Corbeil. Of course, follow the legend Bill After. Now, let's jump into this show. Last week, James Storm officially became one of the most hated people in professional wrestling today, after what he did to Gunner and what he did to Gunner's dad, smashing the beer bottle over his head while Gunner was basically handcuffed to the ring. Really heinous crime, I guess you can say, if it was anywhere else except inside the wrestling ring or around the wrestling ring. But we're gonna jump really quickly into this show. MVP goes to the ring, and MVP basically says that Abyss and Magnus are going down a path that he is not happy with. He basically states that from the beginning, MVP has said that in order to succeed in TNA wrestling, now that he's in charge, excuse me, you have to earn your spots. No more shortcuts, no more bullcrap, no more backstage garbage. You have to earn your spot. Now, obviously last week, MVP was not happy with Abyss's, let's just say, interaction with Magnus during last week's show. Now, MVP basically states that he is going to make an executive decision. Well, Magnus comes to the ring. He interrupts MVP, comes to the ring, and he says that MVP's rules don't matter to him. They don't matter to him because Abyss is privately contracted. Abyss, when Magnus is in the ring, Abyss is in the ring. Abyss's rules are not the same rules as TNA rules. So MVP does something that I actually thought he would do. And what he's doing is he's basically trying to pit Abyss the Monster, who is basically uncontrollable, versus the person who hired him, the World Heavyweight Champion, Magnus. Now, how does he do this? Abyss basically is put in a position where he's made to feel a little inferior, okay? Because Abyss obviously is a monster. He's looked at as a sideshow freak. MVP says, you know, do you want to be a sideshow freak the rest of your life? Do you want to be, what was he saying, the world's ugliest bodyguard or something like that? I'm going to give you a chance next week to be part of a three-way with Samoa Joe, Abyss, and the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, Samoa Joe comes to the ring, and he is not happy. Basically, Samoa Joe gets in the face of MVP and says, look, you have yet to give me my fair shot. How the hell is this fair? It's basically 2-on-1. Well, all hell breaks loose, because Magnus sees that MVP is basically getting broken down on or yelled at by Samoa Joe. So he goes, you know, I'm going to just step away and just walk away, and well, that doesn't happen, my friends. Of course, Samoa Joe attacks Magnus and all hell breaks loose. Now, Eric Young basically interjects himself, comes to the ring while this whole brawl is happening, and MVP actually got involved in the brawl, and Eric Young wants to join the party. Now, Samoa Joe gets in his face and says, look, man, you haven't earned your spot. Get to the back of the line. Well, Eric Young makes a great case to MVP. He's been tag team champion. He's been multiple champions. He's even been knockouts champion in TNA wrestling. He's been part of Team Canada. He's dressed like a superhero, so on and so forth. He's been there for 10 years, and he says, MVP, you've only been here 10 minutes. Who the hell are you to tell me I'm not worthy of being part of this match? Again, Samoa Joe totally disagrees, does not want Eric Young to be part of the match. MVP agrees. He is excited to see a motivated Eric Young to be part of this match, and MVP believes that Eric Young being in this match would even the odds for Samoa Joe, even though technically Joe would now have a 1 in 4 chance instead of a 1 in 3 chance, or a 50-50 split if he was just facing Magnus. Anyway, guys, I want to know what you guys think about this match next week. I'm going to tell you, the match card next week is looking to be a pay-per-view quality match card, but we'll get into that later on. So finally, Samoa Joe is not happy with this situation, and Samoa Joe and Eric Young go at it in the physical terms. They basically fight. Samoa Joe grabs the mic and basically says, tonight it's going to be you and me. MVP makes the match, so it will be Eric Young versus Samoa Joe. Later on in the evening, we'll get into that. So now, as MVP is walking backstage, he is stopped by the Wolves. And the Wolves want a piece of the World Heavyweight Champion and Abyss. MVP does oblige. So we have the Wolves versus Magnus and Abyss. Now, I've never seen this before. It was a really, really good match again. And I've never seen this before, but Abyss was going for a double chokeslam, and as he lifted both Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, they did a backflip escape back into the ropes, double drop kick to his knees, knocking Abyss flat on his face. Basically, towards the end of the match, we have Eddie Edwards. We have Davey Richards, who hits a suicide dive on Abyss, who was outside the ring. Now, and I thought this was really, really well booked, or brilliant, as they say in the UK. I love you guys over there. Thank you for watching. Now, Eddie Edwards puts Magnus in a single crab, and boom, Magnus taps out. Now, immediately, before they even sold it on the mic, or the announcer sold it, Taz and Tanae, I said to myself, damn, he tapped out really quick. I said, this son of a gun did it on purpose. He saved himself from injury. So Abyss basically sees this, and he wasn't really happy with this at all. Abyss doesn't like to lose, apparently. Excuse me, allergy, still getting over a cold, so if I'm going to be coughing, forgive me, guys, or sneezing. So Abyss is pissed, and he takes that World Heavyweight title belt, and he's stroking on the belt, looking at the belt, and you can see Magnus is like, I don't care, I don't really care about this, which is really funny and very well booked, I think. And Abyss looks like he's going to give Magnus the belt, and he walks away with the World Heavyweight title. Magnus, you're going to have some trouble controlling the monster. But anyway, now, we have Angelina Love. We're going to move on. We have Angelina Love, and she goes to the ring. And last week, she attacked Madison Rayne backstage because Madison Rayne didn't give her a definitive answer. Velvet Sky comes to the ring, and she says she is totally pissed off. Now, Angelina Love basically tells her, look, it's either her or it's me. Do you want to bring back the beautiful people, which I know my good friend Andre Corbeil is very excited to see back, or do you want to go your own way because you are vanilla, you are plain, you are a nobody without the beautiful people? Well, they basically go back and forth verbally, and finally, Sky says, before this match is over, before the count of 1, 2, 3, you, Velvet Sky, need to make a decision. So now we have Bully Ray, and Bully Ray comes to the ring, and he's assisted or followed by fans who are probably a bunch of independent wrestlers and some guys from OVW and some chicks from OVW. They surround the ring with tables, and they set tables up in the ring. There was tables all over the place. And again he goes, "Do you know who I am?" He basically explains that he is the guy. If you don't know who he is, he's the guy that made Dixie Carter hit the bricks or go away. So now Bully Ray is continuing to talk, and as he's talking, Bobby Roode interrupts him, and Bobby Roode says he's not intimidated by Bully Ray. He basically says, you know, Bully Ray needs to remember who Bobby Roode is. Bobby Roode is the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion in TNA history. Bobby Roode even stops and says, "Do you know who I am?" Bully Ray cuts this crap off. He says, "You know what? I'm done with hearing you. Fight now," which they do. They get into a ridiculous brawl. It wasn't even an official match. It was basically a fight. I think Taz actually called that one out. It was a huge fight all around the ring, smashing tables. There was one point that Bobby Roode was propped up against a table that was leaning against the ring, and Bully Ray goes to kick him and puts his leg right through a table, injuring his leg. And then again, Bobby Roode is leaning up against another table, and Bully Ray goes head first, or shoulder first, into that table. Bobby Roode is able to get away with his life. Barely. Backstage, Abyss confronts Magnus, and he basically expresses to Magnus that he is not happy with the fact that Magnus tapped out so quick. But Magnus, he's the one paying this guy, and he has to, you know, he has to put him in his place. It says, "You work for me. You work for me." And next week, one person, why am I doing the British accent? Basically, Abyss is there to help the World Heavyweight Champion win. Now, my question to you guys here, please leave a comment here below, onewrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestling video. Do you think there is a possible Abyss face turn? Is this a plan? I don't know, but let me break down what I think is going to happen next week. I think, and you're going to think I'm crazy, I think out of all this pendulum, out of all this craziness, not think, let's just say I wish, not think, I would like to see. Do you think I'm crazy by saying that I believe that there's a possibility that Eric Young is going to walk away with the TNA World Heavyweight title next week? If you're a troll, I know you're going to immediately dislike this video. But really think about it. Is it possible that the guy that's been there for 10 years, possibly one of the most entertaining guys, not a really big guy, a little guy with a big beard, think it's possible they put the title on him? I want you guys to really think about that. Leave a comment here below, onewrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestling video, and please hit the like button. Don't hit that dislike button. But anyway, so now every single week we have Mike Knux, or just Knux, and guys, I want you guys to break down what the hell you think is going on here with this character. They're bringing him back. I mean, I don't know what the hell this is, what this is supposed to be about. I mean, apparently he went away to, he came to wrestling, he came to wrestle and follow his dreams, and he basically neglected his family. I don't know. His dad owns a business in a carnival somewhere, and apparently the floods destroyed everything, and I don't know if that's his sister, I mean, with her ass cheeks basically hanging out of her booty shorts. I mean, I don't know. But all I came away with is that I think Knux needs a dermatologist. I really don't. You have to really, I hope you have HD TV because that doesn't look too good. But anyway, guys, what is this character about? I mean, where are we going with this? And I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Now we have the knockouts match: Angelina Love of the Beautiful People versus TNA Knockouts champion Madison Rayne. Now, it's actually a pretty good match. During the entire match, you see Angelina Love encouraging Velvet Sky, who was ringside, to basically help her out, to you know, but she was totally neutral until Angelina Love and Madison Rayne are fighting outside the ring. As the referee breaks them up, Angelina Love goes in the ring, distracts the referee, and I can't say I didn't see it coming. But yes, Velvet Sky DDTing the TNA Knockouts champion Madison Rayne outside the ring, pushes her back into the ring, basically gives Angelina the 1, 2, 3, and they celebrate as the Beautiful People are back. Now, Beautiful People are pretty awesome too. But again, maybe this is a pipe dream. Wouldn't it be a perfect addition to have somebody like Shauna come in and join the Beautiful People? I mean, she is Portugal's perfect athlete. I know I keep pushing for Shauna for TNA. I really hope she gets signed really soon. She may. I think she'd be a perfect addition. I would like to know what you guys think. Are there any independent women wrestlers or any wrestlers on the TNA roster that you think would fill out this this group, the Beautiful People? I would like to hear from you guys. Please leave your comment below. So now we have Kenny King, and Kenny King is backstage, and Kenny King basically wants to have a match tonight, but MVP says it's all booked. But next week, Kenny King will make his return match debut against ? We'll find out. Now, Samoa Joe versus Eric Young, and good match. Really, really good match. Again, you know, sometimes you forget that Eric Young is actually a lot smaller than Samoa Joe, because Eric Young is just so damn good in the ring. He's such a consummate professional, and he's so damn entertaining, and he showed so much heart. I mean, well, his character showed so much freaking heart, kicking out on multiple occasions. There were times that you could see Samoa Joe profusely sweating, and Samoa Joe not able to hold this man down. But finally, at the end of the match, Samoa Joe puts him in the rear naked choke. And it's something I didn't like about this, and I'm gonna criticize I shouldn't say criticize, but I'm gonna criticize Mike Tenay and Taz, or whoever the hell wrote this. Okay, it's obvious that Joe's shoulders are on the ground, okay, but they continue to say it over and over and over and over again, which led me to think that either the match was going to be reversed, or there's going to be some type of controversy. It's going to lead to some type of controversy in the match, let's just say next week. I'll get into that in a second. Samoa Joe basically doesn't tap out EY, but EY does pass out. They do the old school 1, old school 2, old school 3, dropping the arm. Actually, EY actually held the arm up a little bit, then basically passed out. And then Earl Hebner comes to the ring and tells his son Brian, listen, man, you know, he was choking him out, but his shoulders were pinned to the mat. Now, what am I talking about next week? Why am I talking about next week? This is why I think Eric Young may win the match. I think there will be a point in time where maybe Earl Hebner or Brian will be refereeing the match, and I have a feeling, guys, I have a feeling that Samoa Joe will have Eric Young in that rear naked choke, and he will be pinned for the 1, 2, 3. I have no knowledge, no insider knowledge whether this is going to happen or not. Let's just say it's a big Ray's intuition. So I want to know what you guys think. I know I sound crazy, but again, it's wrestling. Anything is possible. I think this is just setting up for what's going to happen next week. this is why I think Eric Young is going to walk away as a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Even if it's a transitional champion, I think he definitely deserves it. So now, last week, apparently Sam Shaw off the air cornered Christy Hemme, and he cut off a piece of her hair, making her cry, and she was scared and basically crapping her pants. Now my question is, if I'm holding a big 50-pound camera over my shoulder and I see some guy about to rape somebody potentially in the back, you don't think I'm going to smack him in the back of the head with it? It's just my opinion, but again, Sam Shaw does what Sam Shaw does, and he is extremely creepy. And Christy Hemme is so beautiful. Man, she cries so ugly. Again, my opinion, just having fun. Christy, I wouldn't push you out of bed any day of the week. You are beautiful. And again, I'm enjoying this angle. So now we go into the main event of the evening. We have Gunner and James Storm, and dude, let me tell you something. This match was awesome. The fans were cheering. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. And this match was freaking awesome. Gunner, you continue to win me over week in and week out, my friend. Mr. Intensity, I wasn't a fan of yours in the beginning, but guess what, my friend? I am becoming a big Gunner fan. I love this guy, not only his intensity, but his ring ability, his ethics in the ring, his undying passion. I'm telling you something, man. This guy, the way they are building this character, I think it's very well done. And it's been a slow burn to build this character. But anyway, very, very good match. It was an anything goes match. Obviously, tables involved, chairs, freaking everything involved. Trash can lids, so on and so forth. At one point, Gunner hitting back to back last call super kicks. He actually super kicked Gunner in the face. Gunner goes into the ropes, comes back, and gets a second one, but still kicks out. Now, when Gunner is down on the ground, now I would have just hit him with a chair or try to pin him again. I don't know, but he goes under the ring and he actually grabs a beer bottle from under the ring. Now, while this is happening, my friends, Gunner is also grabbing a nice cold beer that's in the corner on the ground in one of those little coolers, and before Cowboy can smash it over his head, he gets one smashed over his head. Gunner hits Cowboy James Storm with a beer bottle, knocking him almost unconscious, hitting him with a version of the F5. I don't know what the finisher is called. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what that finisher is called, but it's a version of the F5 for the 1, 2, 3. A huge win for Gunner. Gunner is now vilified in his attempt to avenge his father. Dude, really, really awesome match. Please go back and watch this match. Now, we go off the air, and all day, and I didn't talk about this, but all day EC3 was in the woods searching for Willow. And he's accompanied by Rockstar Spud, who's dressed in the full camouflage freaking outfit with the leaves all over his body. He looks like a walking freaking bush. His face, God, yo, Rockstar Spud is hilarious. He's freaking hilarious, and the combination of EC3 and Rockstar Spud is freaking gold. Again, my opinion. I would love to know what you guys think. Hilarious, hilarious, hilarious. Finally, there were vignettes throughout the show. They finally find, and then Rockstar Spud disappears. EC3 goes backstage. He goes into a cabin that he finds. Rockstar Spud is tied up with his mouth bound, and he's laying next to like a skeleton, and he's like shaking like a little freaking girl. And finally, EC3 is attacked by Willow. Willow beats him down and then beats him down again with the freaking umbrella, leaving the umbrella behind, laughing that crazy laugh, which I'm not gonna freaking try to imitate. So this is building to be a feud between Willow, aka Jeff Hardy, and EC3. Hopefully, Rockstar Spud stays in his corner. But guys, listen, I say this every single week. I would do this for a living. But if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Guys, again, I'm going to be here every single Friday mornings. I don't know, my views may go down, my views may go up. To be honest with you, I really don't care. I don't do this for views. unlike other channels. I do this because I love talking wrestling. And that's the truth. I love you guys. I love your responses on Twitter. I love interacting with you guys. I love you guys finding me on Facebook. Guys, listen, you can follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. Follow us on Twitter at One Wrestling. Follow Bill After on Twitter at After One Wrestling. Follow my good friend Andre Corbeil, my tag team brother from the north, Mr. Andre Corbeil at Andre_Corbeil. You can find us at Wrestling News Talk, the Facebook fan page, guys. Guys, support us. Don't forget the Can-Am Wrestling Show. Depending on when you're watching this video, today is the 28th. Friday the 28th, it will be the 29th, episode 23, with the longest reigning OVW World Heavyweight Champion, Jamin Olivencia, talking about his match with AJ Styles next month, April. It should be really good, guys. I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. And again, every Friday morning, Eastern Standard Time, US, I will be giving you Big Ray's Wrestling Show's reviews of Impact Wrestling here at OneWrestling.com.